go. Quick. Alright. I'm gonna try to do some side quests. Finish up everything in the DLC area, turn in the animal figurines. Sneak back to the mainland for a couple of the major side quests, and then push through to finish here. These big scary towers.
There's the herd. Everyone ready?
Are you joking? We were born ready. Let's go get them, flaming skulls.
Nope, that's awful.
It is a pretty bad name. Good effort, Urukai.
Forget it. Let's just go kill something.
Alright, well, I'll go stick my stick in that tower's butt first.
Tower took my shields out.
I don't know she had custom dialogue for losing her shield. That's kind of cool. Should have done the silent strike there. Oh well. Ooh. First time I've been hit while overloading. I've been expecting that to happen for some time now. Switch back to Stealth Archer. Now would be the time.
Here goes.
Nice.
Hey, leave some for the rest of us.
This is the crazy one, right?
Keep your eyes open.
Basically, everything counts as a weak spot once you get the freeze effect on them, right?
Another hunt down. We're getting really close, huh?
Talk to Urukai. Get all this loot that I definitely need. Thank you, Rodon. Ad did? Interesting.
You're super awesome. Thanks. Appreciate that.
She was a friend of ours.
The existence of the ad. I see. Thank you.
Of the Werak.
She didn't make it.
No. If you're gonna tell this story, tell it true. She was murdered.
What
What
happens?
happened? How did you lose Nakoni?
She challenged the chieftain to a hunting competition. Oni could, damn him. He wasn't nearly the hunter Nakoni was. But who comes back to the camp after the trial? Oniku, grinning like a snap maw, crowing, "Oh, where's little Nakoni?"
We tracked Nukoni through the woods. Found her not far from the trailhead.
With her damn neck snapped.
I don't want to remember her like that. Sometimes that memory, it's all I can think of.
I'm sorry, Tatai. It sounds like she meant a lot to you. To all of you.
Excited after we beat this, I get to go watch all of the documentary links people have been posting.
Is this why you left Ben-Or? Because of this business with Nakoni and your chieftain?
Onakut knew Nukoni was our mentor, our friend. We couldn't stay.
That final night, we snuck back to camp, packed what we could, and left.
Thanks, Jan.
You're super awesome.
You're going fine on it. Sing
Thanks.
false songs
Appreciate
to him.
that.
You might get a spot on the best hunts. The Werak split into two.
Good bucking, what's up?
Those willing to lick the bottoms of Oniku's feet, and the rest of us, waiting for things to get better.
Until Nakoni.
She was the best and bravest of us. She was the one who took a stand.
I'm sorry for what you've been through.
It's nice to be here.
I wonder if either documentary addresses the
Look,
supposed dropping of the morality system. I think there was one morality choice in all of Frozen Wilds.
what matters now is what happens in the Sundom. That's where the burning turkeys are gonna make a name for ourselves, right?
The burning
Oh, the
turkeys.
burning turkeys? Seriously?
It rolls off the tongue.
Sort of like vomit?
So, where to next?
There's a lake just west of here. Seems like a good place to find a snap maw, Fang. We'll meet you there.
If you beat us there, just wait by the campfire. We'll be along.
Okay, doke. It's worth walking to. Final encounter. Does anyone happen to know where the animal figurine character is? I don't think I have her on my map, or him on my map. Sorry, Mr. Goat. Didn't mean to threaten you with ice gun. Did mean to threaten you with this thing, though.
Looks good.
Wildlife doesn't have... Can't headshot them, I guess?
No sign of them yet. Guess I'll just sit and wait.
Goat skin. Do you need it for crafting things? Need a fish bone still. That makes sense. Oh, it's a snap maw. That's cool. Press triangle to wait. Got it.
I was starting to worry about you three. Everything all right?
We took our time.
Thanks,
After our
Bolton.
last conversation, we had a lot to think about.
I can imagine. Just one more hunt, then your debt is paid and you three can make your way south. Ready?
Huntress, the Sunshine Snowshoes await your signal.
Horrible!
I'm almost impressed, Dulamok. Didn't think you could come up with a name worse than burning turkeys.
Well, I liked it. Let's hunt.
So much better conversation animations. Kill the machines. Okay. Try to take out the tower first. There's two of them. Yeah, I'd be interested to see if we do Horizon Zero Dawn 2. They probably need to tone down the Frozen Wilds animations a bit. It's the point where everyone is like constantly moving and shaking. But somewhere between the base game and Frozen Wilds would be great. So recharge. Here we go. Do some good emoting overall. There's that Frozen Wild sound effect that sounds like the Discord mute sound. It's freaking me out.
Snap moss now. Right. Easy.
Don't think that lets me override them in that triggers though. Also, it wouldn't work on demonic ones anyway, right? Ouch. Nice. $200 per hit. That's pretty great. Best status effect ever. Yeah. All the side quests in this are extremely solid. I probably won't even get to all of the like errand level side quests, but oh, 3 towers. Wow. Come on, there you go.
Okay then, let's see if this thing can work for me.
Horizon One Dawn. Horizon Zero Dusk. There's actually a lot of ways they could make a sequel title. Ouch. Interesting question. What's up, guys? There are machines left to destroy still. Yeah, right. We have no new information about Breath of the Wild 2 yet, do we? Just that they're making it? Oh, then maybe that's the one we want. Usually games like this will have some kind of throwaway excuse for why the old content is still there even after you beat the boss.
Maybe this will do it.
It's kind of OP, actually. Reach level 50, achievement unlocked. Nice. I need to like find somewhere where I can buy a ton of chill water. We'll get me this one. It's like it's already controlling all of the remaining machines, it just presumably can't make any new ones.
Come here, Aloy. Let's have a proper goodbye, huh?
There. That's the last of Bergren's parts. Looks like you three are out of debt.
For now. Until Urkai breaks something else.
It was one time.
You make a nice shaman, Aloy. Thanks for lending a hand. Maybe we'll meet you in the Sundom sometime.
Once you get to the Sundom, what then? What's the next step?
We hunt like Nakoni wanted to hunt.
Nakoni had big dreams. A Werak in which everyone pulls their weight and takes care of each other. No shamans, no chieftains, no need to pry the power out of anybody's hands.
Sounds like a lot of work.
But worth it, I think.
So maybe they show up for the final showdown, like all the other side quest NPCs.
Wished for.
You won't have me to strip your kills now. Are you three gonna be alright?
Doesn't look that hard, really. We'll be fine.
Great. He watches 3 successful harvests and he's suddenly a shaman.
When you get to Song's Edge, talk to Bergrand. If he can't teach you himself, he'll know someone who can.
Sure. And I bet he charges us for the introduction.
Thank you, Aloy.
Oh, that was awesome.
Once you get to the...
Oops, didn't mean to do that.
Sounds like a lot.
But
There we go.
I guess this is goodbye. How does it feel, putting Banuk lands behind
I had a
you?
pre-stream
The
scare
only thing I
today.
missed is already gone.
Let all those rotten Banor suck-ups freeze to death.
that's a little much, Urkai, don't you think? You know, it's strange. What is it to be Banuk after Banur forsakes you? How do we decide who we are?
It's a
How
good
about you,
question.
Aloy? Who do you think we are?
Is it going to be a morality question?
What will you remember of us?
Hey, it is one. What you've accomplished.
Look around. You've taken down more machines since you left Banur than some hunters take down in a year.
Shattered hearts and all, right, Orkai?
It wasn't shattered.
But you took down a Thunderjaw to get that heart, didn't you?
We did. So, silly suggestion. But what if we were the Shattered Hearts?
You know,
Nice name.
I actually like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
They earned that
Thank you,
too.
Aloy, for seeing us for who we are.
The Shattered Hearts. Nice. Okay, so you're saying it's somewhere over here where the main... Is it marked as like a merchant, maybe? Campfires. Oh, you get different choices for each of the ones you pick. That's even cooler. Yeah. Maybe a settlement, okay. That would be an awesome... I wonder if this game is saving event flags for Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Mass Effect was. I guess there's not a lot that they could really save, but that would be one of them. Show up again in the next one and call them the Shattered Hearts. Still say the sequel should be a completely different person in a completely different part of the world, uncovering similar lore.
It's only a matter of time before Stonehill becomes another Song's Edge. Busy.
Regular old merchant. You do have chill water. Sweet. I've got millions and millions of metal shards, so... like 200 of it.
Full of noise.
I think it's that character. Maybe this one with the star marked on it? Maybe it makes more sense. Connie's arrows. Yeah, those are both pretty cool. Guessing Nukoni's arrows is the heart one. Scars of the North is the fist one. Geysers.
Let's see what this blue gleam is worth.
Ursus Americanus, the magnificent American black bear. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Beautiful. How fierce you must have been. That fur. You never even felt the cold, did you? If he hadn't preserved you, would anyone even know you disappeared?
Montana Recreations.
I hate to interrupt.
Oh, Yes. Hello, an outlander at the Shrine of Forgotten Beasts. Welcome. I'm Endgame.
Aloy.
Your hat must be
The
frustrating
Shrine
to
of
wear.
What?
When the old world still breathed, a great man built a tiny totem to this beast and stored the visage inside. When the totem is placed on the pedestal, the animal is painted onto the empty air, and the beast lives again. Well, almost.
There are 7 pedestals. Where are the other 6 figurines?
I found this one in the wilds, remembered the indentations in the pedestals here, and saw how they matched the base of the
That's
totem.
cool.
But as you say, it's one of 7, isn't it? The great Montana
They
recreations
do look like car
must have
wash
made
flaps.
more, but
What's that?
time has scattered them.
You said a great man made these figurines?
Indeed.
Montana?
He was, I believe, a student of the natural world. Like me, but surpassing my abilities 1,000 times over. The great Montana recreations. Perhaps the finest natural scholar the old world ever produced. His voice claims responsibility for the totems, the vessels for the knowledge he
The
achieved.
finest scholar.
I share his desire to understand the beasts, to catalog their behaviors and preserve their images. I like to flatter myself that I'm an apprentice of sorts, carrying on his work. Someday, perhaps, if I am persistent, I can earn his name. Endgame Recreations.
This is fucking great. Thanks for not letting me miss this. So, like, there's a ton of hooks for the sequel to this game, but another one I'd like to see is a society that's, like, way more embracing of this sort of thing, like digging up old ones technology. You can't really do that in the first game because it's sort of a reveal what's going on in the setting, where exactly you are and what happened. But if you had a sequel where, you trust that the player already understands that, or you don't mind giving it away in the early game, it would be cool to have an entire area that just has places like this. Montana Recreations.
I've got a few more figurines for you, Endgame.
Get a map of animal figurines. We need a badger bone. I was thinking about grabbing this. This might need a cook bone. Animal figurine 4, animal figurine 5.
Thank you, Aloy. Look, such form and poise they have upon their pedestals. Montana Recreations truly captured their legacy.
So these totems, the images they show are of animals that no longer exist. They're gone, like the old ones.
So it seems. To think such magnificent creatures are lost to us, that we never even knew they were here. We rely as much on beasts as we do on machines. For food, for warmth, but do we study them with the same fervor? Yeah, I do. For example, I have this theory about foxes. Why do foxes have red fur? Think about what they eat.
Meat?
Raw meat. Bloody meat. See? Natural causation. Logical connections. It only makes sense.
You've thought a lot more about foxes than I have. I should get going.
Of course, of course. I've taken up so much
sorry.
of your time already.
Ding, 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 ding,
But
ding, ding.
I don't
Ding.
suppose you could keep an eye out for more figurines?
If I run across any, I'll bring them your way.
Very logical. No, I was saying there's, Minerva, Poseidon, Luthia, Ether, Demeter, Artemis, that they could still do in a sequel. They did a good job of setting up a franchise here. Given the information he has.
The menacing grizzly bear. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Those claws look like they could rip someone in half.
Perhaps in its youth, but you heard Montana Recreations. He said it's grizzled, old. Its hunting days are behind it.
Yeah, more of this, please. Give me an entire sequel.
Odocoileus virginianus, the majestic mule deer. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Not built like.
Well, there's only one Zero Dawn project.
Perhaps it needed those horns to take down its prey in the absence of sharp fangs.
Close.
Ursus americanus, the magnificent American black bear. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
How would you like to find yourself cornered by that thing?
I suspect I'd like it very much indeed. What a beautiful beast you were.
I love, I think there's a term for it, but like trying to look at modern life forms and modern technologies through the eye of a potential future archaeologist. There's a pretty cool subreddit about shrink wrapping, which is the idea that when archaeologists try to paint pictures of what they believed ancient animals looked like, just based on their bones, they tend to shrink wrap them and present them with very little in terms of like fur or feathers. So there's a subreddit that's devoted to showing current animals as if they were found and shrink wrapped, like, you know, terrifying bony flamingos, and also the inverse of like a big fluffy feathery T-Rex that looks like a giant fat bird. Forget the subreddit name, it might be like R shrink wrapping or something, but cool concept. Final 2 weeks. So we overheard portions of the, let's call them, spirited conversations I've been having with Mr. Blevins. More Blevins lore. Park's been acquired by Firebreak. This isn't easy. Breaks my heart to think nobody will be around to applaud Old Faithful or stare into the beauty pool. Unsold Monrec hollow figurines. Wants everything with the display figs back, though I can't imagine why either. It's not our shrink wrapping. I'll look it up later and maybe post it in the Discord. It's fun though. Shrink wrapped fossils, Reddit, maybe you can Google for it.
Visitor center's a bust. I'm recording the
Or
strategic and
Blevins.
operational value at roughly 0 point squat. No reason we shouldn't pack the staff onto a vert, send them back to Nowheresville as soon as the gates are locked. Enjoy basic income, ding-dongs.
What a lovely
Let's go.
person. You said there's pretty good payoff for pigments as well. I have the map for them. Let's see how much time is remaining after I do the last side quest here. I'm going to return to Bergrim for this one. And then there's another one in the southwest corner of the map, and we'll take a look. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, my bad, Walter. I think it's our speculative evolution. Or at least that's one of them. There's a couple branch subreddits that are on a similar track. You do like top all time in there. There's some good shit. But it'd be really fun to see like these modern day pseudo primitives take on our technology and slightly future technology. There's a lot of it in the Frozen Wilds DLC. Let's see if I can find that fluffy T-Rex picture too. It's adorable.
claws beneath.
That makes sense based on the name drop.
Foolish enough to take on
Have
that
to keep
burden.
looking later. Is that another side quest I didn't start?
These new cards offer.
Interesting. What's happening here?
Inatut. As we are bound by laws, you are bound by wire. Yet your crime was the act of killing. So we must drive you out. Away from the Werek. From protection. From our songs.
My chieftain, Kopalai, am I not your favored fighter? Do you not recognize me from this tooth you knocked out?
How many times have I pulled you from danger
Nice.
by your neck?
Effort.
Made excuses for your behavior. You are my favored. But the shaman is decided. While you wait for exile, think on what brought you here.
A test of strength. Who among us would refuse a challenge from an outlander? Not I, but I did not kill him.
Hush, hush. You can tell your story to the ice.
Damn, yo.
You took Artok's mantle.
It's
That was
mine now.
me.
I would like to see that fight.
They said that you killed someone.
Perhaps I did. If even my chieftain accepts it, it must be so.
That's not the way it works for me. Want to tell me your story?
I did fight with a Karja hunter to settle a challenge. That much is true. He was strong and damn quick. We traded punches. Good punches. Hard punches. And the next thing I remember... gray morning light, and the Karja beside me, with his head broken open. But the blow was not by my hand.
Isn't your Werek supposed to support you? At least give you the benefit of the doubt?
When our
War.
Werek had cause to quarrel, I was the solution. To fight for its honor and win, they'd call on me. Or, when they needed someone to lose, for appearances, I could do that too. Now an Outlander is murdered without honor, all eyes are on me. I have become my Werek's shame.
They don't want an incident with the Karja, so you take the fall.
That is what I do best.
I guess if you kept Aloy as the protagonist into a sequel, like, you could focus more on whatever culture she's visiting. Although it's still interesting to learn about the Nora at the beginning of the game. I think that and the Banuk section are the two best parts.
And for your punishment, they'll exile you from the Werek?
And everything with silence, obviously.
March me up
That's
the
not
slopes of the cloud
modern
shape,
culture
being stripped and
exploration.
exposed.
That's awful.
If I survive, the land has absolved me. That's the law. It must be accepted.
It's still awful.
I'm not stupid. I don't like my chances either. I can't fight a mountain.
So everyone knows you started the fight with this man.
Of course. For honor, I'll fight anyone. If I wasn't bound, I'd fight to prove myself right now.
I don't think that would help you.
This is what I am. Each runner in the Werek has a gift. I brawl. None can take a punch, a fall better than I can. Until this time, I was too drunk. We were grappling. He clapped my ears. I took one last swing as I went down, but not a killing blow. It can't have been.
I'll be honest. You haven't got a good defense, Inatut.
I've heard that one before.
Where did the fight happen?
A clearing, just outside the Karja Outlanders camp. You should talk to them. They wouldn't hear me out.
To use my
If
tracking
anyone else could
power.
have been there, other than me and the dead man. The shaman consulted the signs in the snow and agreed.
I'll see what I can find out. And I'll be back.
I'll be here. What else am I gonna do? Until the horn gives a call from my exile.
I have unlimited time to do your side quests. How wonderful. Now, is that an errand or a side quest? It is a side quest, okay. Turn in the Hunters 3 first. Yo, the Shattered Hearts repaid their debt. All is well.
Bergrand, how'd your investment pay out?
Quite handsomely, thanks very much.
Hey, do you know those three crazy Banuk are calling themselves the Shattered Hearts now?
You
Well,
can see
now
the
that I have
cut
those
from
parts, I can pay off a debt of my
the different
own.
lines of dialogue
So they've gone south then.
Aye, that they have.
based on
I've
what their
got a
name
friend in the
is.
Sundom by the name of O'Toole. He owes me a favor. Old O'Toole is a machine scavenger, a pretty competent one. So I sent them to learn from the best.
Or at least from the pretty competent.
Well, we work with the resources we have. Speaking of which, here, a token of my gratitude.
3 blue gleam. Blue gleam just lets me buy the weapons themselves, right? It doesn't let me like upgrade them or anything beyond what I've already done. Quests. Frontier Justice. Where is the Karja camp? Not far. Okay. It's interesting that Mass Effect's conversation system also does that, where like if there's a bit of branching dialogue that's different based on which flags have been set in the game, like there's this weird cut where the character's facing in a different direction than they were. They say the line and then it goes back to the previous camera angle. And it's like, are devs doing that on purpose so that you know that like you subconsciously know that that line of dialogue was different because of the choice I made? I feel like you could try to make it blend with your 3 different lines. It's charming to me. I don't think it's bad. There's a couple I want to say in like Mass Effect 2 and 3 that are a character that has like 7 different lines that each have different branching states based on your choices in the previous game or games. So you kind of just see them like cut into place over and over as it loads each of the different appropriate lines.
Just because he failed to kill the Sun King doesn't mean he's
It's
any
Tall
less
Neck.
good. He should pay.
What's up?
Huntress, what business do you have with us?
I was asked to look into the murder of a Karja hunter. What happened?
It's plain as day. A drunk Banuk thug picked a fight with Ruas, struck him down from behind and stole his headdress.
The accused man says that he didn't do it.
You're not going to get anything useful out of the Banuk, whether they talk to you or don't. They gather up like cloaks in a chill wind every time a hunter dies out here. Won't even hand Ruas's killer over for a proper trial.
A proper trial?
Pretty good at making up idioms, especially in this DLC.
And hold him up for the sun to consider over days. If it is clement, it may only take his sight, or his wits.
So other Karja hunters have died in these lands before.
3,
Shocking.
maybe 4 in the last few seasons.
They live in like Arizona.
That's no surprise. This place punishes even the prepared, and many young nobles don't prepare. But usually the snow covers everything, and the bodies are never found. No thanks to the Banuk.
Do you think they're involved?
No. If it's not about their tribe, they don't want to get involved.
In these outlands, even the sun cannot thaw all it touches.
Doesn't sound like you trust the Banuk much.
They're not without their reasons to keep apart from us. 10 years of reasons.
Always the war. The war is over. We made amends, but no. The land never forgets.
Snow and ice keep memory, they say.
It takes time for scars to heal.
You think I don't know that? I still bear the lashes for refusing one of the Mad King's sun priests. I was your age then.
Times of shadow. Times of shadow.
Where did you find Ruas's body?
There's even better Karja lore in the Banuk DLC than there is in the main game.
I'm a good tracker.
Down the rise to the west, there's a clearing, but a grazer herd couldn't have trampled it better. And if that barbarian gives up Ruas's headdress before they cast him out, let me know. It's valuable.
The Sun King's grown too much Osram influence.
Thanks to the folks as well that pushed doing this DLC.
Disturbed a lot, like the Huntress said.
I wasn't originally planning to do it, but it's really solid. I just have to use the focus right. There we go.
Blood on the snow.
Actually, been surprisingly little focus quests. Surprisingly few focus quests in the DLC.
Not looking good for Initet.
But that's the basic construction of most of the base game side quests is use it to track somebody.
That was used for the killing blow.
It makes sense because it's kind of like her superpower. When you have a hammer.
Didn't try to hide the weapon. Question is Initet the kind of fighter who hits from behind with a tree branch?
More doing the clearing. Okay.
Oh, here's something. Lots of leaves and bark scraped off here. When someone pulled out the branch? No. From climbing it. They came through the trees.
If they do change the protagonist in a hypothetical sequel, they've got a great setup with the focuses that are basically established to be a worldwide technology. No reason someone else couldn't find one. Also, it would be cool to like meet Aloy in a sequel. Globe-trotting badass. Kind of do like a Metal Gear Solid 2 thing with it.
Camp and the clearing.
All the tracks for. There we go. I'm just excited that there's so many ways to take it. A lot of other new IPs, there's like, okay, there's one sequel you could make.
We'll trade it.
We'll find some fish bones later.
Well, this is ominous. A dead end? Can't be.
Secret ruin somewhere?
Someone covered this over.
Oh.
Are they trying to hide?
Guessing that's so that you can't find this by mistake without doing the side quests.
This looks bad.
It doesn't matter. The deed is done. Another Karja dead. And a Banuk is exiled for it. A life for a Karja life.
That's war.
Someone's here!
Not Banuk. Then she won't be missed.
I feel a fight coming on!
Oh, if we don't rally, we're scrapped. This one'll hurt.
Ow, jeez. You're kidding. Oh, you dodged it. How dare you? Well, let's not do that then.
Lead 'em dry.
Better on machines. Whoa. Damn. Alright. I have bigger problems with human enemies in this game than with the giant robots. Yeah, the shield makes it really easy to never die.
Contact!
I think it's like humans have a much easier time completely shutting down my shield. Kaboom! That's what I was trying to do before. Got you while you were dodging. Waiting for you to finish dodging.
You've been killing Karja. And for what? Revenge for the war?
Who gets to declare that one tribe no longer hates another? I'll tell you, not the ones who fought, not the ones whose songs are silenced, like my kin.
For what you did, another Banuk has been sentenced to certain death. What about his song?
That's why you followed us. For that punch-drunk idiot Inatut.
Correct.
Fate is sharp today. They've already let him out to face his exile. Let's see who the gold claims first.
Find proof of his innocence.
But I should find some more evidence first.
Evidence? Who wants evidence?
Trophies.
Karja trophies?
Newer than the rest. Must have belonged to Ruas.
Hey, that's the one they told me to get back.
So it was a Karja
Sense.
soldiers. Not that it's any excuse. Did they keep any clothes from their victims?
Fine gear for
Gear's not warm, but if Inatut's naked on a snowfield, he'll take what he gets. Okay, time to get moving.
Cool. Time to teleport. Go to the cloud shear. Oh. Maybe it's not that helpful to teleport, after all. Probably gonna play this game again once it comes out on PC. I'd love to see it in like glorious 60 frames per second. I'm sure people will do some goofy like Is my horse before? Oh, it's not my horse. Never mind. Some goofy modding.
Fireclaw.
Several Fireclaws. These guys would not exist yet if I hadn't have finished the main story of the DLC, right? Frost ones. It's still crazy to have like 5 of them in one spot. So basically like the DLC's Thunderjaws. Should have tried to sneak up on him before doing that. Nice stun. That'll do.
Kind of place you'd take someone if you wanted to lose them forever. I'm not getting up that frozen waterfall. Maybe along the sides?
Thanks, Aloy. Whoa! Okay, that happened. Sorry I've asked this in a prior episode, but I don't remember the answer. Like, what else has the studio done? I wonder if they've got any, like, big personalities from other studios.
You're alert.
They're forced to land in the closest available spot. It won't die until it touches the ground, presumably. Oops.
Halfway there.
Inventory modifications. Here we go. Kill zone, and that's it. Wow. What kind of games are Killzone? Are they just FPS titles? I've never played one. The name rings a bell. But this is the heavily modified version of the custom engine they built those games on. You said that did Kojima license out this engine for Death Stranding? One of your set piece FPS games, okay. The Northern Lights should have some kind of like throwaway line about there being weird magnetic reactions in the atmosphere further south. It's there because it's pretty. Should it be in Colorado and Montana? I think someone said that some other game used this game's engine. Different dev.
I hope he found shelter. Behind the rock.
Poor guy.
The Nora girl? Is it really you, or has the bone chill got through my skull?
I found the real killers. No one else has to die because of this. Take these.
I thought he was gonna be like all the way naked.
Haven't I been beaten down enough? But I won't argue. I swear, thought I'd saw my ancestors. They said, we're surprised you ended up here.
You better hurry. Machines.
Cool. Rude. Just had maxed out my meter. Alright, that's enough from you. I wonder if I can do anything to decrease the time to charge that weapon. I don't know if like handling does that. Certainly more than two. Oh, frost jaws. Or not frost jaws. Hey guys. The polar bear robots. Ow. Can y'all not though? Frost claw. There's a lot of aw sounds you can add at the end of stuff. Jaw, claw, maw. Oh, great. I guess that's fair. They are ice elemental themselves, right? Still not great even with all the buffs to it, but that's okay. Yeah, that's completely insane, Walter. I assume that a lot of that gets covered in the couple documentary links people have shared. Stock meat squishing sound, classic. Excuse you, thank you. There we go. Is that the grab you and squeeze you attack? Ow, 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 ow. Try setting you on fire since you're close to dead, and might burn you down. As we're having that fire weapon might help a little bit, but I don't think I can switch once I'm in combat. There it is. It stuns it if nothing else. Kaboom! So.
Now that was a fight.
Your trial's over. It was other Banuk who killed that man. Killed him because he was Karja.
You know why I took the first swing at him? He challenged the honor of the Banuk. The honor. That's what I thought.
Come on. Let's get you back.
Once I'm off the mountain, I'll find my own way. I need to think. It's not something I'm used to. Who knows what could happen.
I'll see you at town then. You had better make it, all right?
I give my pledge.
I do like that as a way to punish people.
So by Banuk law, if Inatut survives, he's forgiven. But I want to prove to his chieftain that he wasn't guilty in the first place.
Goodbye. I think the base game of Horizon Zero Dawn is like a... I guess I don't know what this actually got on Metacritic, but say it's like a 88, 89. The DLC is like 94, 95, like really, really, really high quality. I have basically no complaints about it. Like I said last episode, give me a whole game that's structured the way Frozen Wilds is structured. I guess maybe because it's less open worldy, that works better for me. I don't know. Open world usually isn't a good sign for me when it comes to my personal taste in games. Depends on the game. Breath of the Wild was the rare exception for me, because I think I was able to divide the game world into chunks, tasks to complete, shrines, towns. Really? It's almost the opposite of what I said. Huh. I wonder why they gave a lower rating to Frozen Wilds. I'm surprised that the DLC got its own Metacritic score. I guess that sometimes happens. It was one of those, like, it got a good score when it came out because it was new, and then it's like now we're holding it to a higher standard or something.
Inatut told you the truth. This is the headdress stolen from the murdered man. You'll find more in a ravine north and west of here, along with the bodies of the killers.
The exile still served its purpose. He was guilty of our suspicion. Fate has fallen like snow, and should Inatut return, he will be absolved.
You can't be serious.
He speaks for the Werek, my Nora friend.
You look ridiculous. If you would return to my Wirrak, you will behave as a Banuk does.
How does a Banuk behave, my chieftain? Like I did? Accepting a sentence for a crime he did not commit. Or those others who killed in cold blood for crimes that their charge of victims did not. I think what I wear will not make me more or less of a Banuk.
That is Jennifer Hale.
For his
Goodbye.
own sake, it would be wise for him to think less. Nora, friend.
I'll talk to him.
I was shocked that I got this far in the game without running into her. Shep. Alright.
I defied my chieftain's will, spurned my Werek.
How are you feeling?
As if I've been pounded in the guts. I could just keep walking, but when my anger has thawed, it will leave me with nothing. Where else would I go?
If you choose to stay, it should be on your own terms.
This sounds political. I'm not good with politics.
More like a fighting strategy. You survived exile. I bet that doesn't happen much.
I've only heard of it in legends.
You earned your place in the Werek, Inatut. Make them earn you back.
Of all
Nice.
my fights, this is the first time I beat death. I vow to you, it won't be the last. And my song shall grow. You'll hear of it. As for you, Nora girl, will you accept this gift? A little scrawny weighed against the great boon you gave me, but...
I'm honored. Thank you, Inatut.
Aw, is it like 2 blue gleam or something? It was! And a reward box. I'm honored for the loot box you gave me. Oh, these are for getting the collectible figurines. Okay. I think that's a spear coil, maybe? Me. I'm gonna make up some space here. Just doesn't show as purple anymore? Okay, I was about to be annoyed. I guess it's not a spear, is it? It's a unique upgrade. Untested weapon, very rare. 51% damage, 35% tear, 35% fire. That's pretty crazy. Let me see what other boxes I have here. Nothing purple, so probably nothing that matters. Okay, I only have one more quest to do before the final battle, as far as I know. And it's the one that's all the way down here. Let me go ahead and mark it. Can you only get spear coils in the Frozen Wilds DLC, or does it unlock the ability for them to drop once you unlock them? If anyone even knows. It can drop outside DLC. Cool. Probably not going to get very many spear hits off in the rest of the game. I wish critical hit did more damage. Oh, really? They drop all throughout the base game if you install the DLC early? Interesting. You said you automatically have the DLC skills if you install it early? You don't have to, like, visit the Frozen Wilds area? Interesting. Jungles of southern Arizona. Thank you, Gaia. So, I don't think I've ever actually seen fish. Do they show up on the focus?
Okay, I already got rid of the bandits. I don't think it'll be hard to find this warrior.
I think they could charge $60, but I could see the argument not to. This game definitely deserves full price. We don't know anything about the PC version other than that it exists, or it's going to exist, right? Be cool if they, like, finish the Oseram DLC.
Drive her into the dirt.
No way we could have talked about this, huh?
All the Karja did was talk. Talk and bleed. Talk and shackle me. But you fought like a Tanakh. I'd have taken you for my child.
You can't just take a child.
The strong take from the weak. And in the taking, I'm made stronger. These stories pricked into my skin. Look. Children, riches, lives, and land. All of these have been mine. Drink of my blood, and they'll live on.
Not gonna do that. Okay, you can die before I say I'm not gonna do that.
I've I've got enough stories to carry.
That's true. What was that? Notched ancient charm. Even with the extra slots. Selling for metal shards. This is basically just shards here.
Full already.
I think if this game had a really cool, engaging loot system, then that would raise my opinion of it significantly. It's very close to Mass Effect 1 loot. Toggle on the focus around water, try to grab fish. Yeah, it seemed really cool at the beginning. I like the concept of it being required for certain tasks. But maybe if the game helped you a little bit, like you could set fish tracker that would lead you to all the fish in the game. Then again, the stuff that it crafts isn't terribly exciting either, so... Snap lost spots tend to have fish nearby. Okay.
Might need that.
You see that programmer humor post about the difference between an algorithm, a heuristic, and machine learning? Heuristic is like, it works, but it's dumb. An algorithm is it works, but I don't want to tell you why it works. Machine learning is it works, and I don't know why it works.
Stocking up.
Rivers in the Frozen Wilds. That makes sense. Some of the stuff you can unlock is Frozen Wilds exclusive content from fish bones.
Ho there! I thought they'd send soldiers. The mighty Karja Empire must be more strapped than I thought. How sad.
Yes, yes.
No matter. Bounty hunters die like the rest. Welcome to my ravine of death.
Are you serious?
I'm curious. I don't suppose those behemoths are called to the prison killed Geneva.
You're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, that's why I have my toys, to distract me from the pain.
Oh, that's interesting. The slow wears off when you touch the ground.
Careful now. Don't slip.
Wonder if I could kill them before he climbed up too far there. That would have been funny.
Not yet, little acrobat. Whoopsie. Still alive?
Yes.
Oh,
She just sounds so annoyed. Teleport away from me.
but you're not on fire yet.
Hey, dead fish. Didn't drop a bone though.
Persistent, aren't you?
It's true. I am. Ow.
Easy does it. Mind your fingers.
It's not Mark Hamill. It kind of sounds like him. Come on, that looks like that's climbable. No? Okay, game, whatever you say. That's the Discord's noise. It's when your shield finishes reloading. I thought it was in the Frozen Wilds only. Make a little jump. Not if she dives headfirst into the rocks. Yeah, the white rock there has the conveyance bird boot. We try it from here, maybe? Is there another fish? I saw one down here earlier. Not real.
You got me. No more traps. Tell Geneva I'll be a good boy from now on.
You expect me to believe that? What's in your hand?
Oh, this? Well, just a little... Oops.
I guess he died doing what he loved.
Go up to the other one. He's over here. Oh, I forgot to check for the fish. Shit. I'll keep an eye out. It's not the end of the world. I already have enough of that ammo. Blowing himself up. I know, right?
If this Gavon came through here, the inn seems like a good place to start asking.
Talk to the innkeeper.
One of these days, I'm going to take a holiday. Just don't know where.
Nora. Rumors of the Nora by well-traveled Aram. The most fearsome of barbarian tribes, the Nora of the Savage East. Travel beyond Tay Tower in the snow-dusted hinterlands of the Savage East. Only another day's travel south lies the Mother's Crown, a name that suggests something grander than the fort of tree trunks and log cabins that's described to me. They shoot arrows at them, flaming arrows. The Outlanders, chuckling, agree that if a Carja showed their colors, the arrows would fly lower. Soldiers behind Day Tower's walls grumble about being ambushed and devoured by Nora warriors. So it's a Nacht, not the Nora, known to engage in cannibalism. They be forbidden from eating meat, except at their strange feminine rites beneath the moon. In the benighted land of the Nora, the natural way of things goes inverted. Women rule men, and all the might of Carja metal can be deflected by logs, leather, and hides. Ewok matriarchy. Ruins filled with bounty as artifacts go untouched. Yeah, it's interesting because it's like the Carja are, in the Oseram are pretty into ancient ruins, but like Silence is sort of he's an extreme case, an outlier of someone that is really into like collecting and understanding Old One technology. I would not be surprised to find the Nora's woman god to be the moon itself. It's my understanding from reading older studies of the tribe that a ritual known as the Proving allows men to battle one another to gain favor from the rulers. This is what I was hoping for, that this thing would be like slightly wrong in a lot of ways. It's a SP link. Cool.
As the sun is my witness, never had a Nora in my house.
What about a man named Gavan?
No, can't say I've heard that name.
This guy needs to
we're a trading
not have his eyes open so wide.
All kinds, I'm sure. Like ones who don't want to be followed.
I never heard of your Gavan. If he's trouble, well, can't say I'm sorry. Now, I've things to be doing, Nora girl, if you don't mind.
Really like it, Curious. Way up my alley. It's the most invested I've been in a setting since Mass Effect, and it reminds me of Mass Effect in a lot of ways. Search the Inn for information about Gavan.
Carja have been here working fire.
Outside, maybe? Another thing I noticed is that the DLC seem to do a much better job of matching voice actors to the in-game models. Like, that guy looks like he's... The character looks like he's very young, but it sounds like they matched like a really old voice to him. But the DLC did that pretty much flawlessly. We're going upstairs.
I don't want to face my father.
Something upstairs.
You wouldn't be so eager to speak with me if you knew me.
A weird thing to say.
My bones are tired. I've been working too damn hard.
By the sun, I'm hoping for a better day tomorrow.
Doesn't seem to be anything to scan and no one to talk to. Assuming the innkeeper has nothing else to say.
Bright Market has its shadows, but I run a clean establishment.
I had enough of work.
Everyone immediately recognizes me as Nora. Save point. I think her changing clothes constantly, maybe except for this particular costume. I'm trying that, Aloy, but thank you. I think that's just for the benefit of the player. Like, I don't think that's actually something that's happening in the real story. Oh, I guess also that one time where she wears the Shadow Karja clothes. If anyone sees the thing I'm looking for, I'm happy to accept some help here. I'm really struggling to find it. She even mentions the focus once I get upstairs, but I don't see anything. Might tempted to look it up here in a second. Wait. No, it's a record. Not the thing I'm looking for. Was that it? Maybe that's it. Hey, first try.
Hello, Gavon. You wouldn't have gotten this off without help. But you didn't make for the harbor. And you didn't go alone.
I think there's a lot of elements in video games that we're meant to understand, or even though we can see them in the universe, that they're not really part of the story as retold after the fact. Okay, I use that example all the time of the facilities and buttons and switches and passages and Space Pirate territory in the Metroid games that seem to be designed specifically for Samus to traverse through them in her morph ball form. Which is like, why would they build a facility that lets her travel through it when she's their arch nemesis? But I think it's just an abstraction to represent Samus as using the abilities that she has to find novel ways through the facility, right? Some games do that in a way that's more clear than others, like the portal gun in Portal games. There's no abstraction there, like you're literally using the portal gun that you've been practicing with in the testing chambers to get through the back of the facility.
Pass out, Gavon. I'm not done with you. If you can break out of Sunstone Rock...
Hostile humans.
Hey! Come on!
There's a scan in Metroid Prime that says they were trying to make their own morph ball tech. Interesting. I don't know if I remember that one.
They sent you to take me back to Sunstone?
Not to take you back.
Huh. Well, has Sheeves done your job for you?
Geneva said you were a smuggler, only for the shards. Is that true?
I could tell you anything. A sick mother, or I did it for the poor children.
But you'd be lying.
In the year I spent in a cage, all I regretted was killing that guard, because it got me caught. You can take that back to Sunstone Rock.
I already foresee a webcomic about a space pirate trying to crawl into a ball and just like getting crushed. Alright, here we go. Then we'll do the final mission. Anyway, though, I think that there's a lot of elements like that in video games. There's like language the player needs to interact with the universe. Like in this game is a good example. I don't think all ropes are yellow, and I don't think that every ledge in the game that's able to be climbed actually has, you know, conveyance bird shit on it, right? Like that's just for the player's benefit. If you shot this as a movie, those things wouldn't be there. Aloy would just climb a wall that makes sense for her to climb. Yeah. I generally feel that way about Metroid Prime across the board. You didn't really need to explain that, but I appreciate that you tried. I love all the little lore options about, like, this is the reason why this creature evolved to blow up when you get close to it. It spreads its spores or something. I'm like, alright, I mean, it blows up because it's a NES, SNES-inspired suicide monster, but thank you for trying.
let your guard down.
Cannot escape these robocallers, even during COVID-19. Now our spam mail is gone down significantly. Usually I go to check my mailbox and it's completely full.
Your aid to the Karja Sundom in these times of strife is appreciated. That's the official response. I'd say I can tell you've done the work by the look on your face.
2 of them got themselves killed. The other, welcome to fight to the end.
They would have found death with or without you. Taken others with them.
That's what I told myself.
Smart girl. Doubt we'll meet again, so go in light.
Thanks be to the sun or something. Alright, final battle. Let's go. I'm gonna go rest first. On this loading screen, what did the robocaller have to say? No transcription. Garbage.
2020 healthcare advisors.
Healthcare advisors, fuck off. That's the one I get most commonly now. The scam is they say, we received the letter or the request that you sent. Because I think that makes people nervous. Like, what? I didn't send a letter. Game is first a simulationist. Yeah. I think if there was I guess the best way to think about it is go like, what if there was a movie version of Horizon Zero Dawn or a book version? Like, can you imagine reading a chapter where it's like, and then Aloy visited the village and she spoke to the merchant, and the merchant had stronger Karja gear that was resistant to fire damage, so she equipped that for several hours, and we'll tell you the next time she stops somewhere to equip new gear. Like, her getting this gear, I could see being part of the story, or her specifically wearing gear to disguise herself, but the rest of it's just kind of a gaming abstraction, even if it appears on the character in the universe. Hi, Dylan Marstead on Twitch. We're enjoying your blind playthrough. Let's beat every awesome game. This trying time.
Taking you through ancient ruins? Let us speak of it.
When I sign up for, like, if a restaurant has, like, a carry-out service where I can order online and I sign up through my main email, it does call me Marstead on Twitch. People are... call out my name when I go to pick it up. Marstead on Twitch? Yeah, that's me, sorry. No way back. Wow, so the characters tell you. Made a good serve. Need to start adding a trademark symbol next to the name of the game we're playing.
How could you sleep, Elizabeth, with a weight like this pressing on you?
She didn't sleep, she just did side quests for like 20 hours before
How did you
triggering the end of the game.
after you lost your family?
Yes, like look at the costume she's wearing here, for example.
Silence? Are you there? Guess I shouldn't ask ghosts for advice.
Also, if you're going to ask for him, you should have your focus on.
Ma'am, there are signs from the west. Sun King Avad awaits you at the Temple of the Sun.
We do like the main quest pop-ups during this cutscene. Seeing all our old friends from prior side quests here. It's my shit.
Campfires, perhaps? Massing forces for the long march to the city gates?
That's not wood smoke.
Then what is it?
It's a moon. It's a space station.
Or how it begins, anyway.
Whoa. Graphics. You got spooked twice there. Arrow death robots.
The Deathbringers you spoke of?
To the guns! To the guns! Now!
By the sun, do as she says!
Damn straight.
Set loaded! All of you, be ready to fire! Will the guns hold them back?
We're about to find out.
No. I'm gonna go with no. It's asshole.
Helis!
No! Rally the Vanguard. Send reinforcements.
Aloy, no!
We need those guns!
He will cut you down!
Not this time!
I'm good. Hey, she did her move.
You have vexed me long enough.
Should have fought me in a sun ring then.
Farewell. Why do you fight?
Dang it. You get away with that a lot. That was pretty effective.
Blocked again.
You're not allowed to block my shit.
Accept it. Accept your weakness.
What are you talking about, dude? Ow.
It's giving way!
What are you before the terror of the sun?
The one who will take you down!
I am chosen. You came from nothing.
That's true.
Blocked again.
Dude obviously can't see his own health bar.
This was not meant to be.
I don't have time for this.
None of this was meant to be, Helis. You made it happen. Followed your orders, butchered so many, and for what? To die on your knees, used like a pawn by a power you don't even understand?
You pity me?
Turn your face to the sun.
That's cool. Nice. Yes, I do, six gun. I was like, isn't it great when you think you have a novel idea and someone's like, that's like 1,000 years old. Stealthy. That's pretty cool. Those are just enemies I had left alive, okay. Nice. It's a really cool set piece here. Oh yeah, this thing. Now, do I only have access to this because of doing a side quest earlier?
Here it comes. Better move.
It was pretty decent damage. Nice. Perfect. Okay, I see they're all showing up now as alerted.
Dropped it.
Let's kill the dangerous one first. Hey, thanks, Kevin. I shot it out of the air. That's awesome. I think that was going to be possible.
You're super awesome.
Gotta get to another platform.
What's loud? The explosions? Oh, I just turned it down. I literally, during the stream, I was like, I feel like this is loud for when there's dialogue in the game, so I went to Streamlabs and turned it down from like 10%. Maybe, since I haven't changed the volume in so long, it... Alright, I'll try to fix it real quick. Sorry. Let's do 4%. Hey guys, what's up? Well, thanks for telling me. I literally tried turning it down and it looks like it actually got turned up. I don't know what happened.
It's taking a shot at me.
Someone else killed it, so they got the XP. Rude. I think I killed my ally there. Whoops.
Chance to catch a breath and prepare.
This is fine.
Raise arms again! West!
Hey, he's back to life. The guy I thought I killed.
Incoming. Gotta drop it and move.
Can you not, though? rude. Oops. What's your end game here? I have that question for the kiddies very often. It's cool to have all the different corrupted machines at the end. Can you not, though? Thank you. I get corruptors coming.
Time to go. Time to go.
I was I can hit it from this far away. Stormbird! Awesome. Lame. No kidding. I don't remember if I've seen a corrupted Stormbird before. Definitely corrupted Thunderjaw. Cool. Yep, I was using my bow that whole time.
Incoming!
And then Aloy died.
Aloy! Aloy! Aloy!
Deb?
My all mother, you survived. I thought you were killed.
The others, are they...
No, wounded, but alive, mostly. The machines blasted through, then kept going. They marched on the spire, dragging that thing with them.
Take care of the others, Teb. I've gotta go.
Whoa! Cool set piece. That's not good.
Gotta press on.
Thanks.
Aloy, go! We'll draw them. Now you face the true Sun Shadow Demons.
Thanks, Uthid. Friendship is magic. They're reminding me of all my friends from earlier.
I will answer your challenge.
No Banuk turns away.
Thanks,
from
Oki.
the challenge.
Rest now, Ice Hunter.
Aw. They still spawn medicine out here because they need to. The friends you made along the way turned out to be the friends you made along the way all along.
Hades is transmitting.
That's bad. It's extremely bad. That kid is super dead. Oh, right, the nanite swarm. Makes sense. Biomass conversion initiated. How the fuck do you fight that?
If Hades has started the signal, it must have gotten through the defenses.
Go to the spire and stop Hades.
Aaron's vanguard.
I'm gonna show that
I
robot.
have to get up there.
The implication is that these machines were like everywhere, buried in the ground. Yeah.
Gotta keep going. Keep pushing. Knew this wouldn't be easy. So no holding back.
This one. Final boss climbing sequence.
Aloy! It's Aloy!
Aaron!
Well, you can see that.
We thought you'd fallen at the ridge.
No, the ridge fell on me. Look, there isn't a lot of time left. I have to face Hades.
Not alone.
Killbots had a preset kill
I can't
limit.
ask you to come with me.
We were about to go over the top anyway, right?
Right.
The metal devil must fall.
I should stock up. Last chance.
Wonder what triggers who you run into here.
Arrival of Entity has been anticipated. Entity will not halt transmission.
I like the clipping effect on his voice. It's not quite as cool as the crazy sovereign voice.
To contrary, calculations.
It's also just insanely loud.
presence of entity has been accounted for.
Turned off my focus. Don't do that. Oh, it's in a little arena. That's one way to put it. Cannot get that gun to come off. That didn't do anything. Okay, good to know. Lower side guns. Not detachable. Okay, thanks. That works. It worked less well. Y'all be fine. This is fine. Oops. Take the ads out first. Okay. Should have heard you coming there, friend. Okay, I need to recover corruption. I think I have a potion for it. Maybe. Nope. Antidote?
We've cleaned them out.
What does that one look like? Looks like an antidote. Okay. Oh, it already wore off. Shit. Double filled it there by accident. Hey, I'm able to blow him up eventually. That's cool.
More of them on the way.
Don't let them overrun us!
Almost had a full meter there. Blew up another gun. Regular corruptors, a lot of bugs. Can you not do that jumpy thing, please?
My way's clear.
The servant is dead. Now, the master.
It's cool. It's kind of like the towers from the DLC.
System threat imminent.
I'm more than a threat.
Hey, he's got a little butt stick spot. Interesting. Hijack my focus. Select the nebula.
Master Override armed. To activate, state name and rank.
Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master Override activated. Purging extinction protocol.
That's good. I'm glad they had one of those. Re-shut them down. What if we need to override the extinction protocol that overrides the creation protocol? Yeah, right. And it's a mothership too, so when you kill the mothership, all the big baddie ones go down. But that's set up in the story, so it's fine. How did that kid not die? Boo, Horizon Zero Dawn. Why only that guard? You could hug everyone else there. Everyone else is like, what are we celebrating? She's like, trust me. Hey Isla, how you doing? Gaia log 3rd February 2065.
Okay, Gaia. Sorry about that. Where was I?
You were telling a story.
Right. Yeah, so, like I was saying, it was a children's electronics kit, but I'd hacked the wiring to an auto battery and solar PV. So the grass caught fire. And, so did a tall pine.
I've heard
had
that,
stood
Walter.
there, I don't know, maybe 100 years.
Query. You were how old?
6. My mother was home, thank God, so she called the fire department, and after, she took me out to the lawn and showed me the dead baby birds, because there were nests in the pine tree.
Query. What did you feel?
I'm not sure. I remember yelling that I didn't care, and that's when my mother took my face in her hands and spoke.
Query.
Presumably you can go here during the main game.
She said I had to care. She said, Elizabeth, being smart will count for nothing if you don't make the world better. You have to use your smarts to count for something. To serve life, not death.
You often tell stories of your mother, but you are childless.
I never had time. Guess it was for the best.
HK-47.
If you had had a child, Elizabeth, what would you have wished for him or her?
I guess I would have wanted her to be curious.
She went back to her home after she got locked out.
And willful, unstoppable, even. But with enough compassion to heal the world. Just a little bit.
I like the little hollow face it projected, but there's like dust in that thing. Statement. Hey, Cat Mom, how you doing?
Anyway, that's all I've got for now, Gaia. Time to tuck in.
I wish you a pleasant sleep, Elizabeth.
Thank you. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Got that little HCD symbol in the flowers. She unlocked terraforming on her estate before she died. Cool. This game was great. Really, 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 really big fan. I know I keep comparing it to Mass Effect, but the time they spent on the setting, the codex entries, the way the dialogue system works, like, I think it's, gameplay-wise, quite a bit more competent than even the Mass Effect sequels. The story is incredibly solid. I think throughout the whole story, one thing that I was kind of just like, really? Are we doing that? Okay. But the rest of it was well told, well presented. I'm excited for the what appear to be dozens of ways to make a sequel to this game. There's lots of directions they could take it, and I'm enjoying being in that narrative superposition state where it's like, man, they could really do anything. Right? It holds up, yeah. I'm surprised that the open world thing worked as well as it did. I think I would have been fine with it being a little bit less open, but the open stuff was generally cool. I wonder why the credits music is super quiet. It's like 10 decibels quieter than the rest of the game so far. Try turning it up a bit. Hopefully it doesn't blare at the end of this section. And if it really all came from hunting robot dinosaurs, I think that's even cooler. That was the initial story idea. You can kind of see them maturing with the DLC as well, so that makes me extra excited for a sequel. I try to champion new IPs wherever possible, and this is really impressive for a fresh IP. But it feels like there's more story to tell here, and it would be a shame if they left it at that. It also feels like there's more story to tell, but not in like a cheesy, oh, they left the game unfinished and ended on a cliffhanger ending. Like, this is a very good self-contained story, you know. But there's more value to bring out of this setting, I think. Kind of like how you see the Star Wars trilogy and you're like, man, this is a cool universe. I wonder what's going on in other parts of the universe, but then they just keep coming back to like the original trilogy and this one family and the specific characters that we care about from that one family. It's like, no. But I think I'd be fine if the next game is you still play as Aloy. That would be fine. If you went to a completely different place with different characters, that'd be cool too. A new IP where the first entry doesn't end in a massive cliffhanger, while still having plenty of hooks for a sequel. But like, all the hooks are just cool little setting hooks. They're not like, oh my god, what a crazy unanswered question. Oh, cool. What game did you play, Kaimon? Heard of Trine? Usually comes up when I stop and Google games to play couch co-op. Have you guys played Overcooked yet? See if you have 4 with Kaihan. I know Kat and Donovan were on the edge of hating their son Jaden when we were playing Overcooked together, so maybe that's not the best game. I don't know why the music is so quiet in this section. Turned up a little more, but I'm worried it's just going to blare at the end for some reason. Things I'd like to see from a sequel. I'd like to see them spend a little bit more time on the loot system, on the hunting system, inventory management. I'd like to see them change the skill path. If the game really expects you to have certain abilities, I'd rather them not be optional. Right, like the concentration, slow time power, a lot of the combat's balanced around you having that. Apollo would be cool, yeah. Yeah, they've got a lot of good hooks with the other subroutines. Your mom can't jump at all. I think that's the coolest, like... Is this kind of the opposite of Mass Effect? It's 1 over Mass Effect. Mass Effect is, we find all this knowledge, these knowledge caches left behind by ancient civilization and have a quantum leap forward. In this game, we leave all this knowledge for a future civilization. And then most of it gets destroyed. I wonder if a time jump is a good idea. It would be cool to kick ahead like 30 years. Aloy's pretty old now. Maybe she's either not the protagonist, she's like the mentor to the protagonist, or she shows up like halfway through the game. I feel like she's basically had her arc. So I'd want them to do something crazy with her. She's a really cool character and I like her a lot, but... I feel like she's not the star of this setting. That makes sense. Why you no jump? It's crazy they built this giant... They built this giant cauldron just to display credits. These alphas are real full of themselves. I'm super pumped to have unlocked the wiki and videos about this game. Special thanks, Hideo Kojima. Wow, there's a lot of Japanese names on the special thanks list. Amazing cosplayers and fan artists. Oh yeah, no, I was joking that in universe they built this to display the credits. I'm trying to decide. Let's see, we've got about an hour and a half backed up from ending early with HOM 3. I could do a Saturday HLD stream and go for a full 3 or 4 hours with it. Hyperlight Drifter's only 8 hours long though, right? So it should be done in like 2 sessions, 2 full sessions. The first Hyperlight episode was only 38 minutes long. I think it was like the second of SERP's 2 subblocks that day. Oh, separate Frozen Wilds credits. Let me turn the game back down here, just in case the audio spikes now. Samuel L. Jackson shows up and invites Aloy to join the Avengers. I watched the Hyperlight Drifter VOD today, caught myself up on it. Also involves ancient ruined robots. Got in Lance Reddick to get like 7 lines in. That's a lot of people whose names start with A. I think each and every one of these characters had a unique costume. Like I said, if there was a video game award for best costume design, I think it should go to Horizon Zero Dawn, like best costume design of the decade. It was something that they chose to spend resources on, and I think it really paid off. There's probably 100 unique NPCs in the game. Like, there were lots of NPCs that if it was that sort of game, I'm like, oh, that's definitely a party member. Their costume's way too cool for them to just be a rando. I think it dates back to mortals rising up and slaying their gods, right? Fear of your creations rebelling against you. Yeah. I like this game's handling of it. I tend to roll my eyes at a lot of fiction that's about evil robots. Here it's not really even evil robots, it's just basically the Grey Goo. It's more of a Grey Goo scenario than it is like a Matrix robots rebel type scenario. Even you could argue Hades is more of like a Grey Goo scenario. There are plenty of good robots in this setting as well. Artificial being, alien intelligence, much older than the skinny of AI and robots. Golems, right? Titans. Jennifer Hale. Liam O'Brien. Don't tell Nodovan. It's those summoned. I imagine Nodovan running from across the room to get to the keyboard. Motion capture talent. Interesting. So they had 3 people to capture for Aloy. Probably people to do like the stunts. And the little girl for 6-year-old Aloy. Silence wasn't captured by Lance Reddick in any capacity, although he was definitely modeled after Lance Reddick. It's one of the better like character model to voice matching, because they just directly modeled his character after the actor. Give me HCD2. Make it take place in like Australia or something, or like East Asia. West Africa. Man, it must suck to be a composer whose name is Jonathan Williams. No, not that one. Jonathan. Can I call you John? No. Please don't. They didn't really say in the lore in this setting whether Gaia built different machine robots in different areas of the world. She could argue that she might. I thought there was. I thought the implication was that Zero Dawn was like something they did. Well, okay, you're right, because they hole up in the center of the U.S. when the different armies are holding off the swarm from reaching where the project is. Well, Hephaestus exists as a subroutine of Gaia to build the robot animals that are designed by Gaia. Yeah, there's support for cradles. They do set up that there's cradles everywhere. But there needs to be the robot animals everywhere, right? Because they're there, like, repopulating the earth. They're doing the work, planting seeds and reconstituting ancient animals. Yeah, I was under the impression that the cauldrons were built by Hephaestus. Hence, cauldron. Thinking about it from a, like, especially game, I feel like this is less true with movies, but it's definitely true with video games. The desire to make a sequel that someone can just pick up the sequel without having played the first one and jump right into it and not be confused. Like, this setting is perfect for that. Absolutely perfect. Provided that we don't play as Aloy. I feel like this game would benefit from having party members, but I don't know how to do that, unfortunately. Like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of cool, like, Karja, Oseram, Nora, etc. lore, that if this were a BioWare RPG, those would all be people that you had on your ship or whatever, and you would go and talk to them, and they would say, "Oh, let me tell you all about the Banuk." You wouldn't want to have like co-op companions following you all over the place. This isn't the kind of game where you could appreciate what they were doing. I could see maybe doing like an ensemble cast thing where you recruit characters and then you can switch between controlling them, but I don't know how crazy they'd want to get with the sequel, if they'd want to just do more of the same proven formula. But it feels like a big enough setting that it doesn't have to be, literally Aloy by herself again. I could see that being a cool, plan for your next game is some other Cradle got delayed or something and doesn't wake up until late. Kind of like a Vault Fallout thing. Actually, I was kind of getting some Fallout vibes from the dude talking about Montana recreations. Like, that stuff is great. And I like it better when it's played straight, whereas it's almost always played very silly in Fallout. Like, the lack of party members, part of BioWare games gets old now. Sure. Like, you can almost feel hints of it in this. Like, there are these characters that Aloy is particularly close to, like Erend, Varl, Aratak. That if it was a party-based game, I could see them being party members. Hostile code transmission, Unleash Hades, yeah. They took a pretty big risk with a brand new IP in this one. So, makes me hope that they're not risk averse. Personally, I would like them to take a risk in the sequel. It's one of those, this game basically accomplished everything it set out to do, with a couple things that got kicked aside, like the loot system and the inventory system. Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2 felt a lot more like, shit, we had a good idea, but we kind of screwed the pooch on most of the game mechanics, so let's just, tighten and polish that as much as possible. But make basically the same game. Like, Mass Effect 2 doesn't have a wildly different core gameplay loop compared to the first one. It's just the first one, but better mechanically. No, I don't think every game needs a party, but I think that the way this game is constructed is very... you're excited about learning about lore, learning about individual characters, what their deal is, what their history is like. It's hard to do that when you don't have much cause to return to them frequently, and I usually think of that as being handled with party members, but I guess the Frozen Wilds DLC handled it by having you talk to Aratak 5 times. And there's a couple little side quest chains, like the one with Erend, where you deal with Erend for a really long time, and then he basically disappears until the end of the game. But I guess that's not that dissimilar from your typical RPG, where every party member is optional and basically interchangeable, except for their one character-specific side quests that you do. You do their character-specific side quests, and then they're irrelevant again for the rest of the story. The sequences where you have NPC allies in this game, I feel, do work pretty well, but it's basically impossible to tell what they're contributing in most cases. Yeah, I think that's one of the weaknesses of open world games. Usually why when I hear open world, I hiss through my teeth and I'm nervous. Works for something like Zelda, because Link isn't really a character in and of himself anyway. It's kind of like a series of little episodic, here's Kakariko Village. Here's the Gorons. Definitely one of the better ones. I think this one, The Witcher 3, Breath of the Wild, for very different reasons than either The Witcher 3 or Horizon Zero Dawn. And then what little I played of Dragon Age Inquisition seemed to do it decently well. These credits are competitive with God of War 2018. Credits need their own credits. They give you the skip option, but what if there's a plot hook at the end? I wish more AAA studios would consider making lower budget games, but basically never happens. The record right now for long credits is God of War 2018. It's like 40 minutes, maybe? And had something after it, so I don't think it had a skip option. This one at least has a skip, but don't know if it'll skip anything important. Set it in Japan. There you go. Make the Sony overlords happy. I wonder how this game did in Japan. Don't hear too much about Western games being popular as imports, other than like Undertale. Contractors and external companies. What was the other game we played recently that had a bunch of, I want to say it was like Polish devs as a third-party contractor? Resident Evil 6, I think. One of those like, oh shit, we need to fix this game. Right. Yeah, I completely agree, Walter. Big budget games are wasting lots of cash for an extra 5% visual fidelity. Like, I'd rather them spend half the budget on graphics, redirect that to systems design, narrative, that kind of thing. Like, it was making sense for generations upon generations of game consoles, but we're at the point that we're so close to photorealism that, like, who cares? I'd rather it be simple and stylistic. It probably is going to age better anyway. This game is gorgeous, and the character design looks really good. But, you know, having gone back and played some Xbox 360 games, I've been like, wow, this game actually looks kind of dated now. Even though, you know, when I played games from this generation when they were released, it looked amazing. Yep. If the market wants it, it's what must ought be done. People only put out products because that's what the audience wants. There's no, like, feedback loop in there that drives what the audience thinks they want. Completely natural phenomenon. Yeah, right, Walter. I'm excited to try Red Dead 2. I know there's some Red Dead stands in here. So not to talk shit about it, but I know that, like, my friend Kat was really into the first Red Dead. Probably one of his favorite games, if not his favorite game of all time, and just burned out in Red Dead 2 really fast. Like, it's really pretty, but talk shit about it, Terry. I haven't played it, so I don't have any authority to say anything on it, and I wouldn't even if I had played it. But it would be like if, you know, if I told Kat the new Dark Souls game is garbage, dude, it's boring, I'd be like, whoa. He'd be like, whoa, I know you really like Souls games. Yikes. I know, right, sir? Capcom did it to some success. Say it again, Final Fantasy XVI should have Super Nintendo graphics. Save them some money. Make it gorgeous. Do something like, you know, Octopath. I think that indie devs are basically like looting and pillaging. It's good. I'm glad that they're getting attention. I feel like in a lot of cases they need the money and the attention more, but like there's this market for, you know, old school looking pixel graphics or even just kind of lower fidelity 3D graphics. People want that. It's a huge market, and AAA devs just don't bother. They're like, eh. I wonder if this is a Sony requirement. You have to have really long, slow credits With so much dead space, there could be extra names scrolling at the same time on either side, right? Go watch Jenny Nicholson's credits. I think it's about to beat God of War 2018. I'm like, yeah, we put a skip button down there. It's fine. Natural motion morphine animation technology. Oh, yeah, speed tree. Because no one wants to make their own trees or foliage. Physics. Yeah, right, Kevin. Oh no. I didn't finish scrolling. I'm glad I didn't hit skip. Did you leave her spear there? Silence was conspicuously absent from the ending there.
Hello, old friend. Remember me? We've still so much to discuss. So much you never revealed. Your masters, for example. The ones who sent the signal that woke you. Knowledge has its rewards, don't you think? Well, let's begin.
Having a Nicole Lantern is pretty neat. Nice. I like how that's still ambiguous. It's what Silence is up to, right? Yeah, Silence is the shit. So is Aloy. I like Aloy a lot. She basically has a mini movie in the first, 8 hours or so of the game that wraps itself up pretty well. Yeah. And it all feels warranted. It doesn't feel like, really, you want to make a sequel to this? Ended the War Machine threat. Did, the loading bar need to get to 3/4 full for the War Machine threat to be ended? Horizon Zero Dusk. Horizon 1 Dawn. Horizon 2nd Dawn. I kept thinking this game was called Horizon Zero Dawn. But there's no colon. I don't think the game's called Horizon. Congratulations on defeating Hades. Protecting Gaia's dream of an Earth Reborn. The state of this is super similar. I didn't see any thanks to BioWare, but even the screen here is right out of when you load the game after beating Mass Effect 2. Keep all loot and experience from your successful playthrough. State of the world has been restored to just before the Living Shadow. New Game Plus has been unlocked, granting the option to play the game again from the beginning with all the loot and skills you've accumulated. New Game Plus loadout of your current inventory and skills has been created. To play in this mode, simply choose New Game Plus in the options menu. Cool. Thanks, Horizons team. As far as my controller didn't die during that. Just in case skills carry over or something. Cool, that was fun. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap there. I'll keep in another hour and 15 minutes that we wrapped early, so I'm planning to do a makeup stream either on the weekend or just do 1 8-hour stream of voting system games. Hyperlight Drifter will be tomorrow for sure, though. Whole day.